really going to do that? Like, that's trashy, or that you shouldn't be doing that. You should date a nice white man who's, you know, I don't know, going to be a doctor or whatever. And I'm just looking at him like, well, why can't the Hispanic man be a doctor too?
Race is really a social construct, and it's sort of an artificial category that's used to divide us more than it is to unite us.
One of them had asked, like, does he smell like rice all the time? And I was like, what? I was like, do you smell like beans all the time? Like, it's just something stupid like that.
I had some friends, they were like, oh, you know what they say about the white girls, they're the right girls.
My family loved her because she was white. Pretty sure it would be a different reaction if she was black, but unfortunately she was white.
I don't think anyone is born to be prejudiced. I don't think anyone is born, to have these racist thoughts. I mean, let's be very clear that people are the product of their environment. This is what they learn. They see it every day in their siblings, in their parents, in their extended family. So it's no surprise that if they have those feelings, it's something they were exposed to, it's something that they saw.
I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. I hope the judge is on the side for us.
Where are you going?
Loving v. Virginia, U.S. Supreme Court case that overturned state laws that banned interracial marriage. It was very relevant to my life because my parents were of different ethnicities and different races, and so it would seem that their marriage would not be legal.
If I couldn't be with him out in public, that would upset me, because he's a person just like I am. The only thing different is our skin and where we were born.
So what I know about loving is what I read in the Supreme Court case, and what it made me feel like and think about, and how happy I was that the Supreme Court recognized that law was a prejudice enacted, and that it was not a way that a free and open democracy should function.
We still wonder, like, how are people going to perceive our kids, or like, what is their experience going to be like? Because when you're not this or that, where people can clearly tell what your ethnicity is, what your race is, that's when you get a lot of questions, and that's when I feel like things tend to go in a more negative way.
I'm glad the Supreme Court ruled the way they did in 1969, because I think there are a lot of people like me that are biracial, that come from a multitude of ethnicities, and I think that makes us stronger, not weaker.
When people would ask, what are you, or, like, you're tan and you have this, or like, why don't you have this, or if you're Hispanic, why aren't you this, and it was just kind of part of the fun of it. There was never really any teasing or anything that I needed to be warned about. My parents built a good sense of, like, you're gonna be accepted wherever you go, they really didn't talk about race too much. I guess they didn't see it as an issue.
I've come to embrace both sides, that I'm not one and I'm not the other, that I'm both. And I remember when I was living in New Jersey, the Japan Society in New York had a special program about biracial people like me, those that were half something and half Japanese. And it was really interesting, because sometimes we describe ourselves as being half of one and half of the other. And the argument in this show was that we're not half, we're actually double. We're double because we can draw from two different ethnicities. And that was something that made us different, made us special, and it really resonated with me, and I remember it to this day.
It's just like sad people see your skin color as an issue, like it's your skin color.
I think people like that are disgusting, like that think that way.
No,
like, why? Like, we're humans, no matter the color of our skin. So.
And so to me, race and ethnicity was never part of the discussion or something we had to overcome. And I wonder if it's because, I had a model in my parents, like that wasn't anything that I saw that they had to overcome. All they knew is that they loved each other. And so that's what I think happened with me and my wife. And like I said, 20 years coming up, I think we made a good decision.
I've kind of dated through the spectrum. I mean, I've dated the blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy. I've dated Korean guy. I mean, I never really had like a thought of that towards like skin color or race or anything like that. It's been more of personality and things like that that I've been looking for.
I'd like to think that we as a society are becoming more open to letting people choose what's best for them, because I was glad to have had that opportunity to make that decision for myself, to not have pressure from my family or anything. So I feel lucky in that regard.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
It's more accepted now than it was 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Like I said, my parents went through like all kinds of negative comments left and right. And like I said, when I was growing up, it was like, oh, don't mention that. You look white, you're white. Just keep going with that. And I never really understood as a kid. So I think our kid's going to have a better world to live in and grow up in than what I did.
Please join me in giving a warm Texas State welcome to Common.
The theme for this school year's Common experience is truth. Rapper Lonnie Lynn, better known by the name Common, nearly filled Strahan Arena last night to give a speech about the importance of truth in his work and life.
I learned so much and discovered I'm really an advocate for learning and like growth. And I think being an artist has personally allowed me to learn more about myself and also be a better father and be a better son and friend.
Many at Texas State are proud to see the university bring an influential figure like Common to campus.
Well, I think that this event to Texas State as a student body is very important because it allows us to really reflect on truth. It provides us an opportunity to learn from someone who's done great things. It allows us an opportunity to reflect.
Common spoke about finding a purpose in life and the role people play in making the world a better place.
I feel like each generation that comes, things should get better, you know, and I think by talking about truth, we are aiding in that, helping for things to get better.
Some in the audience say they were moved by Common's message and were excited to see the university bring a prominent African-American speaker to the Common Experience flagship event.
I didn't know what I was going to get from tonight, but I was definitely pleased, definitely inspired by what he talked about tonight.
Common's speech last night brought in the largest crowd of any LBJ Distinguished Lecturer since the series first began in 1982. For Bobcat Update, I'm Darreane Valles.
Thank you. That feels so much better.
Oh, no problem, baby. I gotta get going on today, Troy. See you later.
Babe? Babe, stop playing.
Bunny Bingo is an event hosted by Corey, aka Miss Bunny LaRock. Bunny is a well-known drag queen in San Marcos who raises money in a fun and entertaining atmosphere and gives all the money to charity.
Bunny Bingo is a really great way for the community to come together and support each other. Every time they do Bunny Bingo, they choose a different charity to support. This time it's the Hays County Food Bank.
This month's charity was the Hays County Food Bank. People who came to the event were allowed to pay $10 or donate 3 canned goods for a playing card. After winners were announced, a drag queen puts on a show for the audience.
So this evening we are really hoping to actually fill the shelves of the food bank. They're really low this moment.
Carrots, bunny ears, and gift cards were among winning prizes. Not only does the event raise money for charity, but it also serves as a reminder that you can be whoever you want to be.
I guess all the community is just to not let people put you in a box, to step outside of the box, step out of your comfort zone, do something different, you know. If it's not being done, do it.
If you missed this month's Bunny Bingo, not to worry, because there will be another one next month on December 12th. All donations will go to the Blue Santa charity. For Bobcat Update, I'm Darreane Valles. Now it's time to see if I want some bingo.